nature launches an attack on the U.S. mainland. Hurricane Andrew bombs southern Florida with killer winds and rain.
We've lost our homes. We've lost everything.
The National Guard moves in to keep order, and now the powerful storm is ready to strike again. This is the CBS Evening News. Dan Rather reporting tonight from an area just south of Miami. This area is the hardest hit so far by Hurricane Andrew. Now the question is, where does the hurricane hit next? It hit first and hardest today on the east coast of Florida with winds that gusted up to 165 miles an hour. Right now, the hurricane is in the Gulf of Mexico, expected to hit land again as soon as tomorrow night. The New Orleans area is one possible place for its next landfall. Death toll at least 12, including a minimum of 8 dead in southern Florida. Too soon to total up the immense damage, but you can bet it will be in the many billions. A curfew is in effect in Miami, and the National Guard's been called out. CBS News correspondent Bernard Goldberg was here in Miami with us when Andrew struck.
It was one of the most powerful hurricanes of the century, winds gusting to 165 miles an hour. And if the image makers like to think of Miami as an American paradise, in a flash, Hurricane Andrew turned Miami into a paradise lost. A million people have no electricity, no phones, and many of them have no water. Streets have become obstacle courses. Airports were closed. And tonight, National Guard troops are on the streets enforcing a dusk-to-dawn curfew. The worst damage was in the suburbs south of Miami, but because this is an inland area about 10 miles from the water, residents were not required to evacuate. A reporter's supposed to be disinterested, a completely objective observer. But it isn't easy when the hurricane hits your block. This is where I live. But I was one of the lucky ones. The unlucky ones are the walking wounded, the people Andrew left devastated.
We have nothing, nothing at all. It's totally took everything, destroyed everything. You don't even have a roof in the house, don't have nothing. Everything and everywhere, it's just gone. We've lost everything and everybody's homeless. I don't know what we're going to do.
I guess everybody's in the same shape around here. Some of them's whole houses are gone. I do have some walls left, but that's it.
And in one of the wealthiest parts of town, Andrew mocked the people in their expensive homes too. And tonight, President Bush came to Miami to inspect the damage. One of his sons lives in the area worst hit. The hurricane ripped through Miami in just a few hours, but it will take weeks in some places, months in others, before Miami is back to normal. Dan, you've been through enough hurricanes to know that in a much deeper sense, things don't really get back to normal. You start to wonder if something like this can happen again, and the simple fact of the matter is, the answer is yes, it can. And remember, Andrew is just the first hurricane of this season.
Bernie, we know that people are hurting. There's a lot of pain out there. It would help to have the power on, to have the lights on. How soon can that happen?
Boy, it sure would, Dan. For some people, it may happen in a matter of hours or days, but for others, the sad fact is it's going to take a long time, probably weeks.
Thanks, Bernie. Andrew became a tropical storm 1 week ago today. It was upgraded to a hurricane on Saturday morning out in the Atlantic east of the Bahamas. Churning westward, Andrew struck the top of the Bahamas last night, reportedly leaving 4 people dead there. Then the hurricane came plumb bob straight right to the coast of Florida, slamming shore this morning just after 5 o'clock Eastern Time, 25 miles southwest of Miami. The eye of the storm tore through the community of Homestead, then raced, luckily for Floridians, across the very southern tip of Florida. Remember, the Everglades takes up a lot of that space, and 3 hours later entered the Gulf of Mexico. And that's where Hurricane Andrew is tonight, out in the Gulf of Mexico. It is expected to hit land again, with Mississippi and Louisiana considered the most likely places where it may hit. And earlier today, I went to perhaps the hardest hit area of Florida, that Homestead section of the state, 25 miles just southwest of here in Miami. The eye of the hurricane roared directly over Homestead moments after slamming first into the edge of the Florida coast. This is the Highway of Heartbreak, Florida's new Trail of Tears. As we drove south on the Florida Turnpike from Miami down toward Homestead, the extent of the damage was stunningly evident. The word is incredible. The place is an overpass near Homestead, Florida. The main force of the hurricane winds came through here. Gust up to 165 miles an hour. Let me show you something. See, these are light poles on the overpass. This is where one was. The force and twist of the wind broke this off. The whole light pole is down there. Now, from here in the overpass, as far as the eye can see, there are, I do not exaggerate, thousands of roofs blown off homes in this area. A storage facility that looked as if it had been bombed. Personal belongings blown everywhere. Overturned vehicles were scattered and strewn for miles.
Well, welcome to the Holiday Inn.
Welcome to the Holiday Inn, where we found not only a building destroyed, but lives in shambles too.
We are at the hotel. Just a few employees we're staying because our house is. We lived on Holiday Road. There's no house. We have no house to go back to. And Paul, my brother, you see us?
Brand new. Up in Pensacola, come get us.
Don't cry. Don't cry. Don't cry.
It's okay. It's okay. What's been lost?
Well, I'm the food and beverage director. I've lost my restaurant, my bar, my banquet rooms. We've lost our homes. We've lost everything.
The National Guard was hurried to this shopping center where, incredibly, looting was going on during the storm. What's happened here?
These three gentlemen right here are under arrest for looting. They were caught inside here by members of the Guard and a Met-to-Date officer as they were inside the Bernheims.
What this was, I don't know, but it was a 3/4 of a city block of something. Gone, leveled. Across the street, Toys R Us has become Toys Was Us. Completely destroyed. President Bush has declared 3 counties federal disaster areas, and in the neighborhoods you could see why. People trying to climb out, clean up, and figure out what they have left. Anybody hurt?
No, nobody was in there. Everybody, we were inside, you know, my parents were in the bathroom with my brother and sister, and I was in the closet with some friends.
Are you Catholic?
Yeah.
Were you praying?
Oh,
Yeah.
one night.
This was your room?
Yep. I mean, it's just ironic that picture there that was just given to us is just standing still there, but...
And the people. These people are not accustomed to easy lives. Today they kept telling us it was worse someplace else. And it was. Did you think you might die?
Yes, one time I thought the roof was coming off and we would go flying.
So what were you doing at that moment?
What I was doing, praying. Very hard.
After a long night, everyone who lives along the Homestead Highway is still in shock, still in disbelief. You know, I think some people saw some of the hurricane and said, well, it's not so bad.
It is. It's terrible.
I don't think anybody got killed, so that's a good part.
That's a good part. That's a good point.
Property can always be replaced.
Thank you very much.
Okay,
Good luck
thank
to
you.
Good luck.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Good luck.
We need it.
Sorry this happened to you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, they need it. Luck and a lot of help. Still to come on tonight's CBS Evening News, live from Florida. We'll take you across the Gulf to the place the hurricane may hit next, so stay here with us.
It's a very sophisticated system. You're probably better off taking it to the GM dealership.
We haven't got that kind of equipment here. Best bet's the dealership.
Pretty tricky stuff out of our league.
Sorry, try the dealership.
The dealership.
The GM dealership.
Basically, I thought all toothpaste were the same. But then on a visit to my grandmother's, I tried her Arm & Hammer dental care. And wow, it was a special feeling, like a burst of clean. My mouth felt so clean and so healthy that it was just like leaving the dentist office. Then I heard that more dentists recommend Arm & Hammer than any other baking soda toothpaste. I see my dentist really often, but now I get that fresh from the dentist feeling every single time I brush.
Get Arm & Hammer Dental Care for that healthy, fresh from the dentist feeling of clean.
For painful gas, which would you choose? Your antacid or Gas-X, the tablet made for gas? It's extra strength, 100% simethicone to fight gas faster. Faster than your antacid. Fight gas right with Gas-X.
Back here live in southern Florida now, thousands of people spent a nerve-wracking night in shelters. Many of those who went home today had their hearts broken, their dreams shattered, as Giselle Fernandez reports from West Dade County.
For many who braced themselves for the howling nightmare of Hurricane Andrew in shelters, not knowing what the morning would bring seemed unbearable. But at daybreak, first light on the disaster for many seemed far worse than imagined.
Oh my God.
Even residents who weathered the storm in their homes couldn't believe how devastating the night had been. What did you do to get through this last night?
Just sat there in the kitchen. I was praying to the Lord. And it helped.
Doris, a widow with no home or flood insurance, lost almost everything. Parts of her roof caved in. Her bedroom was demolished. Shattered windows littered the floor. Her car and backyard both are in ruins.
This is as clean as...
Doris's neighbor, Gino Sanfilippo, also was hit hard. Before the hurricane, he had plans to retire and sell the house, now flooded and destroyed.
The truth of it is, you get wiped out after you build up something for so many years. Just unbelievable.
156th Street is one of the neighborhoods hit hardest by Hurricane Andrew. As if the chaos in their homes and here out in the streets is not enough, neighbors are having to contend with yet one more battle. Some are having to fight off looters. Looters also have begun preying on businesses, unabashed, taking advantage of the crisis.
It's pretty sad. You know, the people have to really get on to people when they're down.
Some residents can't even seek refuge or comfort in their neighborhood churches, demolished in the storm.
I could not imagine that it was anything like this. They're going to have to tear the whole building down, and I'm just wondering where we're going to go to church.
Despite beaten spirits, Doris, Gino, and the neighbors have already begun cleaning up, rebuilding. They wasted no time. For some residents, the cleanup is going to be very extensive, and 90% of Florida homeowners reportedly have no flood insurance. All hurricane survivors are being urged to apply for government aid very quickly because the low-interest loans that are offered do tend to run out quickly. And before I sign off, Dan, I should note that in the shopping center where we've been standing, looting has continued to go on this evening. Right out in the open, people have been driving up, running into the stores, raiding them, taking out bags of stolen goods and driving away, not seeming to care whether they're seen or whether or not they're caught. Dan?
A footnote, the National Guard is on duty with the police, but the U.S. military is not. Giselle, you and I know there's a poignant story on every street corner, every block. Which one burned deepest in your memory bank today?
I guess the story of Doris, the woman that you saw in my piece just a moment ago, she's alone, she's a widow, and she's lost really everything. And really it's the community neighbors who have come to her aid to help her out. And I think it's that kind of spirit that really keeps this community together. And the spirit that the people say they still don't want to leave Florida. They love it here, this is their home, and they won't let a hurricane drive them out. I like that spirit.
Thanks, Giselle, who is in southern Dade County. After its 3-hour rampage, the hurricane entered the Gulf of Mexico just below Naples on Florida's west coast. Near Naples, in Everglades City, and on Marco Island, there were overturned cars, flooding, and some damage. But CBS News correspondent Aaron Hayes reports the area escaped the kind of destruction the hurricane inflicted on South Florida's other eastern side. Now, the hurricane is now turning its attention to the Gulf Coast. It could strike anywhere from the Mississippi-Alabama line on over to Louisiana, possibly even as far over as Texas, within the next 48 hours. Hurricane warnings are up in the area. The mayor of Grand Isle, Louisiana, a very low place, warned that Andrew is coming like, quote, a bull out of the chute. Scott Pelley is in New Orleans.
Good evening, Dan. Just a few hours ago, the mayor of New Orleans ordered the evacuation of low-lying areas. This evening, those evacuations are well underway. The people in Bayou country know they have precious little time once the water begins to rise. This Mississippi Delta area is perhaps one of the most vulnerable in all of the Gulf Coast region because many people are living on nothing more than the sediment of the river. Their houses are built on that sediment just a few inches above the waterline. Oil companies today began evacuating thousands of offshore workers and bringing in as many of their offshore oil rigs as possible. We are told that levee control district workers are now filling thousands of sandbags and are busy closing the 111 levee gates that protect the city of New Orleans. It's important to remember that New Orleans is virtually completely below sea level. It's helpful to think of the city as being in the bottom of a soup bowl with the levee system forming the edge around it. The mayor of New Orleans says today that anyone who is able to evacuate now should do so, although that evacuation of the entire city is not yet mandatory. We understand that the governor of Louisiana has put the National Guard on standby. Dan?
Scott, in the late 50s, it was a terrible hurricane with a high death toll in that area of Louisiana, around New Orleans, between New Orleans and the Texas border. Is there any talk around New Orleans that this could be, in its own way, perhaps the worst hurricane this half-century?
It could be, Dan, because the worst hurricane that has ever come ashore here was a Category 3. Andrew, as you noted earlier, is a Category 4. And the people at the River Control District tell us they don't know what'll happen if the flood stage goes above 15 or 20 feet. It could easily breach the levees at that point.
Thanks, Scott. And that's a Category 4 on a 5, scale 5 being the worst. We're going to have more about the hurricane, particularly an update on where it is and where it may be headed a little later on the broadcast. But right now, stay here with us for the CBS Evening News. We're going to take you to Somalia, Africa, and show you what's happening there.
Never seen nothing like it. I mean, Rusty Slade was an ornery sort. Always ate his old bran flakes just for fiber. But one morning, I gave him Kellogg's new complete bran flakes. Weren't the same. More than fiber, they had whole grain wheat. Flakes were new too, crispy, crunchy. Why, that Kellogg's complete bran flakes even had a better nutty taste. It was all so good, made Rusty smile. Almost. New Kellogg's complete bran flakes. Fiber and then some.
It's a comfort to know more people have taken Sominex over the past 30 years than any other sleep aid. Safe, simple Sominex.
Look at me, enjoying a crisp red apple. Even with my dentures, thanks to Super Polygrip.
Super Polygrip holds so tight, many denture wearers can enjoy more of their favorite foods.
Even apples.
Super Polygrip.
I was really downing those tablets. Come on, they're not candy. I started to think there was something really wrong with my stomach. Was I relieved when my doctor told me to try a new antacid tablet.
Introducing Mylanta tablets, shown to neutralize more stomach acid than the leading tablet.
Unbelievable.
New Mylanta tablets.
My doctor said Mylanta.
Are you getting a real bargain or just getting ripped off? Watch out for fakes. An all-new 48 Hours Wednesday.
Back now live in southern Florida, where there's still a lot of strange-looking clouds, shifting winds, and occasional rain. We're tracking the hurricane as it's pointed now in the general direction of New Orleans. More about it later, but right now, for other news, let's go to New York, and Paula's on. Paula?
Thanks a lot, Dan. On a college campus in Montreal today, a professor went on a shooting rampage, killing 2 people and wounding 3 before he was captured by police. It happened at Concordia University. A witness said the professor was walking across the grounds like a robot, firing a pistol. He reportedly was angry because the university had denied his tenure. A U.S. military relief operation is up and running in Kenya, bringing food to starving refugees from the civil war in neighboring Somalia. Later this week, the U.S. airlift will go into Somalia itself. CBS News correspondent Dr. Bob Arnott is there.
Yeah, he's cold. He's dead.
A young orphan dies in the village of Badoa. This is the face of death seen hundreds of times every day throughout Somalia. An apocalypse of enormous dimensions even for Africa.
This is probably the worst thing I ever hope to see in my life as far as total devastation.
This week, the United States begins a huge humanitarian airlift, moving 145,000 tons of food to Somalia. Some relief flights from Europe are already landing, but most of the food never gets where it is needed most.
We bring in tons of food every day, and as fast as we bring it in, it gets looted. As fast as we bring in medical supplies, they get stolen.
Every street plays like a scene from Road Warrior. Armed gangs run rampant in a country where the right to bear arms is the only law of the land.
How many patients do we have in now? 150? We have 100 patients or so, and out of those about 98 are gunshot wounds.
10-year-old Salou was caught in the crossfire of gangs fighting over turf. Rival armies widely loot and kill the innocent.
Their most lethal weapons are not machine guns, assault rifles, and grenade launchers, but rice, pasta, and vegetables. Food deprivation threatens the lives of 2 million Somalis, but the young men who steal food from women and children are well-fed, fashionably dressed, and growing wealthy.
Cheaper, more plentiful food here in what's left of the capital is beginning to make a difference for some lucky ones. And as aid starts to flow into the country, the world hopes there will be many more. Bob Arnott, CBS News, Mogadishu.
I feel energetic and ready to face the day.
Zane Hunter discovers breakfast with grape nuts for a week.
I love grape nuts. It kept me going the whole morning.
Grape nuts, the fat-free natural energy source.
It just had a real crunchy, nutty, different kind of flavor that stayed fresh. Old cereal's out, grape nuts is in.
Breakfast with Post-Grape Nut cereal helps keep you going strong all morning long.
You just try it for a week, and this will become your new cereal.
When I hear the rain, I know I'm in for it. The dampness, the chill. Arthritis pain seems to come from every joint in my body. For pain like this, now instead of aspirin, I take Advil. Advil contains the same medicine my doctor often prescribes for arthritis pain. In fact, for minor arthritis pain, doctors recommend Advil most. With Advil, I'm on my way. Advil, tablets and caplets. Advanced medicine for pain.
After examining, testing, it's a fact. You can buy new Preparation H hydrocortisone cream with the maximum strength available without a prescription to relieve problem itch. New Preparation H hydrocortisone cream. Prescription strength without a prescription.
Oh, great. Just what my stomach needs. Here comes my obnoxious boss.
Hi, Daddy.
Oh, boy.
Better make it Malox, because extra strength Malox Plus neutralizes more acid than Mylanta. So you better make it Malox.
One of the fiercest hurricanes to ever hit the United States, Hurricane Andrew. Continuing coverage live from the Gulf Coast tomorrow on CBS This Morning with Harry Smith and Paula Zahn.
Woody Allen and Mia Farrow have a date tomorrow in court. It is a child custody hearing in New York, and today the judge ruled the cameras will not be allowed. Still, viewers who want a glimpse of Allen's private world can look for it in his upcoming movie. Cindy Kennard in Hollywood has a preview.
Hey, I want to ask you something, Professor. Do you seduce all your students?
Watching Woody Allen's new movie leaves the audience feeling as if it has been placed squarely in the filmmaker's off-screen bedroom.
Some kind of sixth sense said that you were not stable, but you on the surface you are. But now that we're having all kinds of problems, you're not stable. You are on the surface, but not really.
In this movie, art is truly imitating life. The film take is a breakup between Allen and longtime companion Mia Farrow, with Allen smitten by a young college girl. In real life, there's an Allen-Farrow split, with Allen admitting he's in love with Farrow's 21-year-old adopted daughter. The true-to-life scandal has left Hollywood wondering about the effect on Allen's career.
I think Woody Allen has big problems right now. He will have a difficult time with an audience finding his films funny from now on.
But will moviegoers close the curtain completely on Allen for this sex scandal that is captivating America? Hollywood history records some unforgiving audiences. Charlie Chaplin married 2 different 16-year-olds and was later prosecuted on a morals charge and paternity lawsuit. He was exiled in Switzerland. In the case of Woody Allen, colleagues are rallying to his defense.
He's generally concerned with ethics and morality and where do you draw the line and how do you lead a good life.
Moviegoers also have to contend with Farrow's accusation that Allen is a child molester.
I've known him for 30 years. The idea, the phrase makes his flesh crawl. And I can't imagine anything that would make it crawl more, short of kissing Pat Buchanan on the mouth.
Still, Hollywood has the jitters. The studio has canceled the press tour for Allen's next movie, fearing questions about the scandal would overshadow the film. But seizing on the attention, the studio announced today that the movie would be released next month, a week earlier than expected. Cindy Kennard, CBS News, Hollywood.
And that's it from New York for tonight. Dan Rather will be back in a moment from Florida.
Draw from the facts. There's a way to maintain regularity without drugs. It starts here. A high-fiber diet, which can include Kellogg's All Bran, may give you the fiber you need for drug-free regularity. See the recipe on the box for another way to enjoy Kellogg's All Bran. All Bran muffins. All that fiber, all that great taste.
I drink B8 because...
Hey, I think it's good for me. It makes me peppy.
You got your vitamin A, your vitamin C.
I like it because it has those beta-carotenes in it. What's that word?
Beta-carotenes.
Pardon? Beta what?
You know, beta-carotene.
Muy sabroso.
Call me crazy, but I think it's delicious.
35 calories. Really?
35? Yes. It's a kick. I love you.
V8?
V8!
Keeps me thin.
It's zippy kind of thing, a zippy thing.
Before we ship a new Buick LeSabre, it must meet an international standard of excellence. If it fails to meet a single electrical check, if the aim of a headlight isn't true, if the seams are not measured to the millimeter, we don't ship it. So if you buy a Buick LeSabre for its quality, you won't be missing the boat, even though it doesn't come by boat.
Tears of pain, tears of joy. But when your eyes are dry, soothe them with the tears of Murine. Closer to your own tears than other leading eye drops or artificial tears. Murine, natural tears formula.
I'd like to talk to you about an invisible problem. The invisible bacteria that cause denture odor. Fortunately, antibacterial Effident kills those odor-causing bacteria for clean, fresh dentures.
Antibacterial Effident.
Live now from Florida, our old friend and one of the world's great hurricane experts, Dr. Neil Frank, is standing by at Channel 11 Houston. Dr. Frank, what can we expect next?
Well, Dan, everybody anticipates that the storm is going to turn to the northwest. If that turn takes place in the next couple of hours, then it could be Alabama or Mississippi. If the turn is delayed, then we're talking about Louisiana and maybe even the upper Texas coast, so we're watching it very carefully.
And its top sustained winds at the moment are?
140 miles an hour, and it could gather some more strength.
Whew. Thanks, Dr. Neil Frank. Our thanks to also the friends at AT&T, American Telephone and Telegraph, who've been so terrific to us and for us today. Dan Rather, reporting live from Florida for the CBS Evening News. For news about the hurricane, stay tuned to this CBS station. I'll see you tomorrow. Good night.
Experience CBS News.
This is CBS.
Next on Hard Copy, she said she had premonitions of her husband's death until police discovered plans for his funeral, plus the Italian Madonna.
If you're looking for rates as low as this and quick approval on a home equity credit line account, listen to Bud Bash.
When you need a second mortgage, there's only one phrase you need to hear.
Mr. Anderson, your loan was approved.
Call the Personal Mortgage Corporation at 1-800-DIAL-PMC. No weeks of waiting, no application fees. You'll get an answer in 24 hours. Don't worry if others have turned you down. Call 1-800-DIAL-PMC. Personal Mortgage Corporation.